Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
Shaq's Distin once said, to a young heart, everything is fun. We as Toastmasters, we learn why having fun. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I welcome you to today's meeting. It is good to see your beautiful and handsome faces once again. Dear Toastmasters and guests, as we all know that this is a public space, we should make everyone feel comfortable. So we should avoid any political related matters, religious, and any word that can ignite tribal war, because we should make everyone feel comfortable. And if you are not speaking, please kindly mute your mic. Dear Toastmasters and guests, as our tradition, we would like to take the Toastmasters promise. So I will lead it. So if you are not speaking, please kindly mute your mic while I read. Thank you. Zoom master, please, you are waiting.
It's actually up. You can't see it yet.
Yes. Okay. I read. The Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meetings assignment, to provide fellow members with helpful and constructive evaluation, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and to grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefit Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Thank you. Then the Pecten mission, to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I welcome you once again to today's meeting. Now, if your hands are not too busy, please, if you're happy to be in today's meeting, as I'll be welcoming the president, please let the chat box be filled with your favorite emoji. Please, let's load the chat board with your favorite emoji. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I welcome the president of Pecten Toastmaster, President Toastmaster Olem. Why are not to be jam your hands together as I welcome the president?
Thank you so kindly, Toastmaster Femi. And to my forever young Toastmasters and our delectable guests. We could even say forever young guests on the call. It's good to host you again this evening, and Pecten is delighted to have you join us for an evening, hopefully filled with so much fun. Today we gather under the theme that's not just a phrase, it's a mindset. Forever young isn't about age, I'll say this again. Forever young isn't about age. It is about the heart that never stops learning, the mind that is curious enough to keep exploring, and the spirit that is courageous enough to keep growing. This month, the UN marks the International Youth Day, and that's where this theme was coined from. In this year's theme for the UN, the focus is around channeling resources in a way that youth get to be more involved in volunteer activities across the globe and at local levels. Most of us on this call are very young at heart, so I'm very sure we're also very great volunteers. And if you're not, this is a call to action that we should do something about that. Now, as Toastmasters, every time we step up to the podium or to the speaking arena to speak, to lead, or to support one another, we keep the spark alive. And today I want to remind you that we stay forever young by embracing change, laughing at our mistakes, yes, which we do at meetings, and celebrating every growth milestone. Very important. So I would like to say, this meeting is not supposed to be some uptight meeting. It's the reason it's forever young. So when you're called upon to get engaged in sessions, please go all out and do you. Today, let's laugh like children, dream like teenagers, and dare like 20 somethings, all the while growing wiser to become the best versions of ourselves. I'd like to end this by saying one of my very favorite or interesting quotes I found along the way, and it's by Mark Twain. He says that age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So please, 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 let's have a lot of energy, fun, and our forever young spirit while we have this meeting today. Thank you. And with that, I don't see any applauses or anything. Every time I'm done talking, I want standing ovation. You should help me here now. Yeah, I'm going to be president for only 24 meetings. So every time I come here, make me feel good. Thank you. I see the applause that's coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And with that said, I would like to introduce to us the pilot for today's meeting. Yes, she's one of our own, but we like to hear her because if you know her, you know she comes with a different kind of energy to meetings. And that person is whom we'll call our master of ceremonies for today's meeting, or compare, or facilitator. She's none other than the delectable Toastmaster, Dr. Esiogene Okereka, the past president of Pecten Toastmasters Club. She's an environmental sustainability consultant and a writer. Her hobbies include reading romantic fiction, exploring museums, markets, and nature hikes. I am sure you would even find more interesting things that she can do while she's talking to us today. And her favorite quote is, examine the labels you apply to yourself. Every label is a boundary or a limit you will not let yourself cross. And this quote is by Wayne Dyer. Ladies and gentlemen, my forever young guest and Toastmasters, please let's make welcome to the virtual lectern, Toastmaster Dr. Esiogene Okereka, as she pilots the affairs of today's meeting. Toastmaster Ese, the lectern is yours, please.
Thank you, Madam President, and hello, everyone. It's delightful to be here today. Sorry, I'm just going to update my view. Awesome. It's delightful to be here today. My name is Toastmaster Ese. I will be serving as the Toastmaster of the day, and it is my role to introduce today's speakers, to manage the flow of the meeting, and at the end of the meeting, hand control back to the president. Now, before our meeting starts today, one of my favorite quotes around youth is from one of my favorite writers called Franz Kafka. And he talks about youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. And so as a way to make all of us feel connected, think about beauty, or even what to, I want to give you a very interesting question that you can think about. You don't need to answer now, but I would like to see your responses come in the chat box. And it would be, if youth had a smell, just think of one word that you think would be the smell of youth, that scent that would capture you. Think of your youth. Think of if in your mind you hear, oh, this is youth. What do you think that smell would be? What do you think that scent would be? I like fruity. Interesting. Thank you, Toastmaster. I'd like to see more response in that, and something I'd like us to think about. Lavender. Okay. I know Toastmaster Lydia really likes scents, so I'm sure that is a scent like that she has thought about. As a big fan of purple, I already support that. Interesting. I'm actually surprised that no one has thought of youth smelling like hot piping party jollof that is from smoky fire. We need to think, because the energy that people use to turn food, if you have made jollof or at least watched it being made. I'd like to see more responses come in. Now, for today's meeting, it is going to be a very fun one. In Toastmasters, this is Pecten Toastmasters Club. We are part of a growing community, and our theme today is Forever Young, about celebrating the ideas around youth. And my role would be to introduce people. I'm not going to be the only one you see speaking today. There's a team of amazing role players who would help us, making sure that there's a lot of vivacity in this meeting. And I am delighted to first start by introducing the Zing DTM, a personal mentor of mine and someone I know who would anchor us through this meeting today. All the role players, all the people who would make sure that we feel that energy, that delightful scent, be it the scent of piping jollof, be it the fruity scent of it, be it that lavender scent, those things that make us feel young. Maybe a better way to frame it is, what is a scent that makes you feel young? When you think about that, as you ponder that, I hope you're delighted in today's meeting. For today, just prompting the Zoom master, our general evaluator today would be the Zing DTM, Toastmaster Chukwuemeka. He is an energy professional who is the immediate past division director and a member of our City Speakers Club. He has completed the visionary communication and innovative planning parts. He loves experimenting with music and experiencing football. His favorite quote is by Chukwuemeka, and it says, "Where you are born is never as important as what's born in you." Toastmasters and guests, please welcome the Zing DTM Toastmaster Chuks. Over to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Dr. S.A. Dollars, great to see you again. Always lovely. Pecten Toastmasters Club, thank you very much. It feels like an age since I have been here, and I'm so delighted to be part of this meeting. I know I've had plans to be doing this a few times in the past month that haven't worked out, so I'm really happy that today has worked out, despite everything that tried to keep me from being here today. So again, a real pleasure. Today, I will serve as general evaluator. I'm not sure why this wonky light is in the background. I've been trying to get it off so you can probably see my video better, but I think it's my surrounding, and hopefully it will get better as the day dawns, as the dusk rises, I think is the more appropriate there. I will serve as general evaluator today. In that capacity, I will lead a team of evaluators to provide feedback with respect to all that we get to experience in this meeting, and maybe some of the things we experienced even before the start of the meeting. The goal of that is to ensure that the next time we show up to do some of these things, be it in Toastmasters or elsewhere, that we do it better and better than we did at the previous time or experienced it the previous time. Thank you very much. And to do this, because I have said I'm leading a team of role players, certainly I ain't. I think that should be a permitted word today, just because it's forever young. So I ain't doing this alone. I have a few role players, evaluators who will be joining me, and it will be my pleasure now to call them forward to tell us a bit of what to expect from them in the course of this meeting. I'll start off with our grammarian for today, and performing that role will be Toastmaster Adebowale Adetunji, who is a technology risk analyst. He's from the Premier Club in Nigeria, born in the year 2005, Eagle Toastmasters Club. He loves reading, swimming, jogging, dancing, volunteering. That's why he's a Toastmaster. His favorite quote is, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." by the great Mahatma Gandhi. Please welcome with me our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Adebowale Adetunji.
Thank you very kindly, General Evaluator, for that warm introduction. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and amazing guests.
Good day.
Yeah, great. I'm excited to be your grammarian for today's meeting. You can think of me as that friendly neighborhood word ninja or your tour guide in the land of language. My role as grammarian is to listen for great use of language, powerful phrases, quotes, sayings, and of course, I would gently catch any grammatical slip-ups. But don't worry, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help us all grow. Let's add some sparkle to our speeches today with the word of the day, vivacious. Can we all say together, vivacious?
Vivacious.
Vivacious.
Thank you very much. It's spelled
Vivacious.
yeah, great. It's spelled Vivacious. It means lively, spirited, full of energy, and close variation to that word is a noun, vivacity, or a adverb, vivaciously. Example of using that word in a sentence is a vivacious personality lit up the room, reminding everyone of the joy of staying forever young. Another example is the speaker delivered a speech so vivaciously that the audience couldn't help but smile. I encourage everyone to use the word in today's meeting. I shall be keeping track of those who do use that word. Let's keep our words sharp and our energy vivacious. I'll be back later in the meeting to give my reports. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adebowale, for your introduction. Our next role player today will be our accountant for today, and that role will be performed by Toastmaster Favor Weka. We'll give her a couple of minutes, or rather 1 minute, to tell us a bit about what this role involves. But first of all, you would know that she's an occupational health nurse who is from this very club, Pecten Toastmasters Club, and loves listening to music, traveling, studying. I love the quote that says, "Nobody is coming to save you. No one is coming to push you. It is up to you," by Mel Robbins. Please welcome our accountant for today, Toastmaster Favor Weka.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can. We can hear you, Toastmaster Favor. Oops. Okay, for the sake of time, I thought I was the one frozen, but I can see Toastmaster SA moving around. That confirms to me that I am not frozen. So would wait. Toastmaster Favor, can you hear us now? I see you're back in. Toastmaster Favor. Okay, we'll give a minute to her to.
Sorry, I have to.
To settle in. Prior to her doing that, well, let's just take our final role player for the sake of time.
I'm back. Hello, I'm back.
All right, go on,
Can you
please.
hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Toastmaster Favor, Paul, Collect. You need to mute the other device. Then we can hear you.
Okay.
Mute
Can
the
you hear
R
me?
counter device. Thank you. Please go ahead now.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Favor, and I'll be your R counter for this section, for this evening. Sorry. My job as the R counter is to note words and sound that are used as crush or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including ha, and n. Lastly, I will note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, and this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll be back to give my report on the number of times that each of those words were used by the speaker. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Favor, for that vivacious introduction of your role. We'll move on quickly to the final role player for today, who is our timer. And our timer for today will interest you to know is an accounting consultant who is from Surulere Toastmasters Club in Lagos. She loves watching movies and surfing the internet. Please welcome with us to perform the role of timer in this meeting, Toastmaster Charity Agbaye-Kai.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. As timer, I will time prepared speeches and evaluations. I will alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, the yellow, and the red cards. So just an illustration of how those cards will be displayed. Here, the green, the yellow, and the red cards. For prepared speeches, you are expected to speak for not more than 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At 6 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will show the red card. For evaluations, you are expected to speak for not more than 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Charity. And there you have it. Those are the role players for today's meeting. In response to the question from Toastmaster SA, just before I call her back up, I'm not really sure what the scent of youth is, but if I think in terms of vivacity, maybe it's the smell of the ocean, or maybe it's the smell of my favorite cocktail, which has some crazy name like gunshots to my head. I'm still undecided, but while I keep deciding, let's welcome back our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster S.A. Okerika.
Thank you, Zing team. Interesting. Yeah, let's keep thinking and deciding. We have gotten more responses of people who are either sharing what they think would be the scent of youth or what they identify as their version of the scent of youth. We have Vanilla from Christina, and Zoe says the hot, delicious akara. I like people who like scents around food. They have my heart. So thank you so much, Zoe. You are one of the most vivacious members of this meeting today. Thank you for reminding us about Akara. I would now be moving on to, in Toastmasters meeting, we usually have 3 phases. And officially, you've heard and met the team of people who will be participating in today's meeting. We'll now be moving on to the first main part of today's meeting. In Toastmasters, we have icebreakers, we have table topics, we have manual speeches, and then we get evaluations. And so to do that, we would also have different role players who will be coming in any of these 3 stages. So the first stage we'll be doing now would be our prepared speeches. This is when vivacious members of Pecten Toastmasters Club or anywhere from the Toastmasters community come deliver speeches that they have prepared that's helping them in their leadership growth. These are usually speeches from their pathway, but before they give that speech, it would be evaluated. And so they would have evaluators who would pay attention to the speeches, and at the end of the speech would help us learn how to improve and grow. So I would like to start by introducing the first evaluator who would be helping to evaluate our first speaker. Zoom Master, if you could just move along. Awesome. Our first speech evaluator today would be Toastmaster Adeshola Aladesare, who works as a legal practitioner. She is in the Business School Netherlands Club and currently on the dynamic leadership path. She loves acting stage plays and watching movies. And her favorite quote is by John C. Maxwell, which says, "Everything rises and falls on leadership." Our speech evaluator, Toastmaster Adeshola, the virtual lectern is yours.
All right, thank you very kindly, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Today, Toastmaster Lydia Ekwedike is delivering a second speech, Level 1, Project 4. This is the evaluation and feedback project. She has delivered her first speech and received feedback. Now, the purpose of this speech, or the speech objective, is that she must demonstrate her ability to incorporate the feedback she received in the first speech to this second speech. She could decide to revise or revisit her first speech or deliver a totally different speech, but at the same time incorporating the feedback she received in the first speech in the second speech. Looking forward to listening to Toastmaster Lydia. She has 5 to 7 minutes to deliver on this project. Thank you, and it's back to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adeshola. Next, we would be having Zumasa, if you could please move ahead. Thank you. Our second speech evaluator, and our second speech evaluator would be Toastmaster Toby Ojo, who works as a HR consultant. She's currently a member of Lento Toastmasters Club and on the presentation mastery path. Her hobby is making money. Her favorite quotes, "To thyself be true." Toastmaster Toby, the virtual lectern is yours. Okay, just confirming for Toastmaster Toby if you can hear us. It seems she's unable to join right now, so we would get her to introduce her speaker later and would immediately move on Zoom Master to introducing our third evaluator. If you could please just move back. Okay. I think what would do, just using the agenda as it's designed, is we would have our first speech come up immediately while we try to confirm. Okay. Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James is our third speech evaluator. She currently works as a biomedical scientist and a data analyst. She's a member of the Pecten Toastmasters Club, the immediate past president, and she's currently on the persuasive influence path. Her hobbies include watching exciting shows, traveling, spending time with family, and she loves making money. Her favorite quote is by industrialist Henry Ford: "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." Toastmaster Ekuchi, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam IIPP, if I'm allowed to say that. Good evening, everyone. Apologies, I can't turn on my video at the moment, but I promise to do so when I come back to give my reports. Today, I have the great honor to evaluate the very vivacious Toastmaster Sona Physical Heart. Today, he is tasked with the responsibility of giving a second speech based off of the evaluation he's gotten from the first speech. He's on the presentation mastery pathway, and this would be his 5th project in level 1. I'm truly looking forward to having him show us how well he's been able to take feedback, and just to demonstrate to us how he can incorporate that feedback, not just hear it, but incorporate it to make an excellent speech. Thank you, and it's back to you, the very vivacious Madam TMOD.
Thank you, Madam IPP. Our last evaluator today would be Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba Detail. This is a pleasant surprise. He is a leadership professional and project manager. He's currently the division director of Division D. His favorite quote is by Alexander Pope: "A little knowledge is a dangerous thing." Toastmaster Abubakar, interested to know you like heretics. Welcome, it's good to see you, and over to you.
Thank you very kindly, Madam Toastmaster of the day. I would just like to confirm if I am audible.
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Just by the way, the smell of any food reminds me of youth, really. As long as it's food, I don't discriminate.
Okay, I like that. Thanks for sharing your preference.
Thank you. I have the great privilege today of evaluating the final speech today, the 4th speech by Toastmaster Toby. And Toastmaster Toby will be speaking from the Innovative Planning Path, Level 4, Project 2, Managing Projects Successfully. And this is the very first speech where we hear about their plan for this speech. And I would hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day when it's time for the speech. After the speech, I would come back and deliver my evaluations. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gimba. Zoom Master, just confirming around what you're sharing, if we've swapped out the sequence of who would be speaking first. Okay. Our first speaker today, we're just going to wait to confirm. You know, in Toastmasters, just like with youth, there are some times when we're all being so vivacious, it feels like everything seems to clash. So just confirming around our first speaker, and I know our first speaker, according to our agenda, is going to, who has already been introduced by Toastmaster Adeshola, is Toastmaster Lydia. So Toastmaster Lydia, confirming you're ready and on the call to deliver your speech. Okay, we're just going to give her extra 15 seconds as she tries to set up. And while doing that, I'd like someone else to share what they think is their sense of youth. Is there a sense that you identify with youth? If you think about it. I don't know, we've done foods, we've done, I want to say like candles and flowers. I feel like there's a world of scents we're also missing. Harmattan, exactly. Now let's move to the seasons. Interesting choice. Harmattan always seems to dry and weedy, and that's an interesting pick to have. Thank you, Madam IPP. I wonder, is there any other scent? Now you've made me think of one. I like a scent, petrichor. So the way the earth smells when after it rains, I think I like that scent. It makes you feel like things are growing underneath. Well, except there's erosion and it's like everything has been moved. But we're trying to be very optimistic today. With youth, we think of that lovely scent. So yeah, I like that scent. I like after it rains and everything feels fresh and clean and just maybe makes the world seem a little brighter, especially if you were indoors when it rained. If rain beats you, maybe you might not appreciate petrichor as much, but that scent, you know, even in the morning, early mornings, like the morning dew, it's a scent people have loved across generations. We also have mint notes. Okay, those of us who have money. Toastmaster Lydia, please just give a thumbs up when you're ready to start. Okay, awesome. We see your mic is muted though, so can you please confirm that you can speak? Zoom master confirming around Toastmaster Lydia.
Confirm you can hear me.
Could you make a statement again?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes.
me? Can you hear me?
But there seems to be
an echo.
An echo, yes. Is there anyone else in the room you're with, and maybe they can mute their device? Do we want to try that?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
So I had to join from multiple devices because my video from the other device isn't working.
That's fine. Do you want to stand in the position you plan to give your speech and speak? And we would confirm with your evaluator if it works for her.
Okay.
We can hear you right now. So do you want to try just speaking and we're sure if it works?
Okay, can you hear me now?
So, Madam,
Okay.
Madam Toastmaster of the day, she can disconnect the audio. She's already muted, so she can disconnect the audio entirely of the video device where we're seeing her from now.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So Toastmaster Lydia, do you want to try that? The device that you have that's called TM Lydia, if you want to go to the audio settings and disconnect it totally, there's an option to leave computer audio. If you just click on the inverted triangle, there should be an option that tells you leave computer audio. Can you see it yet? Okay, while that's being sorted, we'll try to see if we can get that in the next 30 seconds, or we'll explore getting another speaker come in. We have our IPP saying she likes the smell of mint notes, and you identified that with youth. That's so interesting. I think most times when I hear youth, I feel like young people are always broke. So their access to mint money might be hard. But maybe that is why they like it, because it's like you really want money all the time. So mint will just be like those crisp dollars that you can hold in your, or naira, sorry, that you can hold in your hand and like feel yourself. It's a sense I enjoy as a youth and will continue to enjoy even in old age. Oh, thanks for providing better clarity. While we have our first speaker try to set up, our second speaker confirming if you're willing and available to give your speech. Toastmaster Beatrice, how are you feeling, and are you available to give your speech yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I can hear you clearly. However, it seems your evaluator is currently not on the call. So I'll just double hat and serve as your evaluator, at least until she comes in. Zoom Master, do we want to share for our second speaker while our first speaker tries to sort out her audio? Okay, amazing. So our second speaker today, okay. I see that this is your second speech though. So confirming if Toastmaster Toby was your first evaluator, Toastmaster Beatrice.
No, she wasn't my first evaluator.
Okay. Yeah, because this is your second speech, there's supposed to have been feedback gotten from the first speech you gave, and that would inform how you evaluated for the second speech. So
yes,
maybe
please. I shared my evaluation while I shared my speech details.
Oh, okay, awesome. I will just connect with our VPE to give me those details. And while I get that sorted, because I want to be sure that you're getting evaluation that suits the amount of work and preparation you've done, we would now confirm again with Toastmaster Lydia if she's now ready and able to speak. Toastmaster Lydia.
Please, can you hear me? I'm still trying to sort it out.
Okay, but we can hear you, and it doesn't seem like there's blowback audio.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Toastmaster Adeshola, is it good for you? Just confirming. Okay. Your evaluator says it's good. We will now have our first speaker, Toastmaster Lydia, and she would be speaking on the speech titled The Art of Invisible Momentum. The Art of Invisible Momentum, Toastmaster Lydia. The lectern is yours.
Please confirm you can hear me. Sorry.
That's okay. Maybe we would move to our fourth speaker. Just try the device where we have your video on. There's an option to just leave audio. So maybe just do that. Or you can also drop out of the call. And when joining again, don't connect with audio. Just only connect your video. Do you want to try that? While we move on to our third speaker, Toastmaster Sona. I can see you smiling, or rather your profile picture. How are you feeling? Are you available to first give your speech?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, amazing. And Toastmaster Ekuchi, are you available for evaluation for Toastmaster Sona?
Yes, I am.
Amazing. This is why I like Toastmasters, because we would keep changing as things go and we know how to adapt. Okay, so our next speaker will be Toastmaster Sona Ezekiel Hart. This is also his second speech from the Presentation Mastery Pathway, and it is titled, How Do I Change the World? Toastmaster Sona, how do I change the world? Over to you.
Have you ever had a moment that felt like the beginning of the rest of your life? The type of moment that you never expect. There are some obvious days, like the day you're born and the day you get married. But the kind of moment that I'm talking about also happens when you least expect it. So today I'm here to tell you about a moment that has changed me forever. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and wonderful guests on the call. 2 weeks ago, I was having dinner. Pasta, beef sauce, nothing too special. I tuned into a podcast on YouTube just to drown out the evening. I expected it to be background noise while I ate. But by the time my plate was empty, my mind was racing. I sat back and I wondered about something I heard and how it completely shifted my perspective. It felt like a switch had flipped in my head. Suddenly, I felt as if I had discovered a superpower. Not the kind that lets you fly and shoot lasers out of your eyes, even though that would be kind of cool. But a power that each of us carry, you, me, a power that if we choose to use it, can change the world. But like a light bulb, this power doesn't just turn on by itself. For a bulb to glow, power must be generated from far away, transmitted through the lines, and finally connected to the switch in your home before you can then turn it on and the light comes alive. My own light bulb moment was years in the making. You see, my parents lived in Bonny Island. So growing up, if I wanted to stay in Port Harcourt where I was going to school, I often had to live in houses that weren't my own. So for 7 whole years, I moved between the homes of family and friends. They weren't strangers. They were people who extended their hand, who gave me a platform, who welcomed me when I would have otherwise been lost. Later, when I graduated without any work experience at the time, I began running errands for my auntie. Her boss noticed me, took a look at me and said, "What's Sona doing? Looks like a level-headed person." She took a chance, believed in me, and offered me a job.
Why? I want to come and have my golden handshake.
That one opportunity, sorry,
But this is golden.
someone is speaking.
Toastmaster Shay,
That one
if you could please
opportunity,
mute. Apologies, please continue, Toastmasters.
That one opportunity helped me gain the experience that shapes my career and the life I live today. Along the way, I also discovered something else that I loved: art. I started with photography, then I transitioned into video filmmaking, and eventually began posting videos of myself online. In those early days, I didn't know what my message was going to be or who I was talking to. A lot of it was candid and without a lot of structure. Since this is my second time giving this speech, between then and now, I've actually gone ahead to put all of this into practice. But back then, I knew that if I had a story to tell, maybe over time I'd figure it out, and the deeper purpose behind it will come to shine. And then came this actual podcast that I'm talking about on that special day. It was an interview with Tunde Onakoya, the world record-breaking chess master, who, if you know him, is always viciously dressed. But I didn't know much about him until this interview. I finally understood him. You see, Tunde grew up poor, struggling to find his way. Chess gave him an escape, a tool to rewrite his story. Today, his mission is to give children from backgrounds just like his own the same chance to change their life using chess as his own vehicle. During the interview, Tunde said something simple, but it hit me hard. We are all area boys. The only difference between us and them is that someone gave them a chance. And that was when the light bulb fully lit up in me, and the power came from the transmission lines. I thought about the chances that I'd been given: a roof over my head when I needed it, a job when I had none that gave me all the work experience that I needed to be who I am today. People who believed in me, even before I believed in myself. None of these things can be measured on a spreadsheet. A quote by William Bruce Cameron says that not everything that counts can be counted. And I realized this very thing, this very way is how I can change the world. It's not about having millions of followers, starting a massive foundation, even though I would like to do that one day, or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about using what I already have. If I can use the platform I have today, the videos I make every day, the experiences I've gained in my current industry that has now changed my own life, the public speaking and storytelling ability that Toastmasters has helped me build, to help even one person be a better version of themselves, then I, Sona Ezekiel Hart, have changed the world. If I can lend my voice to a cause that is greater than myself, then that charge, that spark, will outlive me and the people that I have impacted. Because when you give someone a chance, you plant a seed. That seed can grow into a tree that will bear fruits, producing seeds that can grow into even more trees long after you've gone. So I stand before you here with a challenge, not just for myself, but for each of you on this call, listening to my voice right now. How will you change the world? For me, the answer is simple. I will use the superpower that we all share, the power to give someone else a chance. Thank you very much for listening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Hope I've inspired you to take action. Look around you. There are many ways to change the world. What do you have? What can you give back? Thank you, and it's back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sona, for that interesting speech. I'm sure your evaluators listening in and would give you very detailed feedback. And as someone, I definitely want to listen. I didn't even know you had a podcast or did film or anything. So please, as I would say, since Toastmasters is also a professional community, I am sure I do not speak out of turn to say, if you do not mind sharing maybe one of your favorite episodes or any of the creative work you've done in how you tell your stories, so we can all listen in and also feel even more inspired. Thank you so much for that lovely speech. We would now be moving on. So confirming again for our first speaker, Toastmaster Lydia, do you want to try again? Let's see if the audio and video is working correctly.
Okay, I would like to try. Confirm you can hear me now.
So clear and perfect and looking so beautiful. We are excited and delighted to now have you speak. So our next speaker would be Toastmaster Lydia Adaku, The Art of Invisible Momentum. The Art of Invisible Momentum, Toastmaster Lydia, over to you.
You know that feeling, right? Where you are staring at a looming deadline, a mountain of tasks, and your brain automatically decides that now is the perfect time to organize your socks drawer or organize your pack of pens by color. You are not alone, bro. And this is an official welcome into the glorious world of procrastination. In this meeting, I vivaciously tell you that we're not just going to talk about any form of procrastination, but strategic procrastination. The type that makes you look busy while doing absolutely nothing important. Good evening, Toastmasters, and our wonderful guests. I'm here to share insights into the art of invisible momentum, a three-step process that assures mastery in procrastination. Stay tuned. I've been a student of this fine art for years. My PhD, if you will, is in the nuanced dance between I'll do it later and oh, it's later. My office, you see, is the shrine to this philosophy. I once had a report due, a critical one, mind you, the type that determines if the coffee machine got an upgrade or if we are stuck with the lukewarm instant coffee. And guess what I did? I came up with a three-step process, which I'm going to talk to you about, that would ensure mastery of productive procrastination. The first was mastering productive distractions. First, I had to vivaciously master the art of the to-do list. My dear, I wrote everything down, including tasks that I already completed. I mean, I thought to myself, look at me being so responsive. And then I immediately segued into productive distractions proper. I meticulously cleaned my workspace. I alphabetized my snack drawer and then segued into organizing my pens by color. Mind you, my dear, I'm not avoiding work. I'm only creating a work-friendly environment for myself. Then my second step, the illusion of productivity. This second step came with a research phase, and not for the report, but for the optimal brand of ergonomic keyboard that will most undoubtedly unlock maximum productivity for me. I spent hours online comparing keyboard specs. I read countless reviews and even watched unboxing videos. Then, to further cement the facade of my diligence, I will occasionally open a spreadsheet and type out random numbers with intense focus, and then with a dramatic flair, sigh to myself deeply while muttering, this data isn't just adding up. You see, my dear, this is the illusion of productivity, a carefully rehearsed performance designed to make it look like progress is being made while the real work is left untouched. Then my third step, the alchemist's true art. My personal favorite. Of course, here, the reports got done eventually, I must say. In a flurry of panic, the last minute genius emerged and I engaged the work. And channeling the panic, that's panic, into superhuman focus, I produced a masterpiece report in 3 hours that could have taken 3 days. You see, my friend, it is not procrastination, it is performance under pressure. So, the next time you find yourself trying to tidy your workspace instead of tackling that spreadsheet or completing that pending report, remind yourself that you're merely engaging in advanced planning for your strategic and eventual manifestation of your last minute genius. Because in the world of strategic, vivacious, audacious procrastinators, it is not about doing the work, it's about looking like you're about to. So next time someone asks you, what are you working on? Simply smile and say, oh, just optimizing my workflow. Never mind the words of Charles Darwin, the renowned author of the right, Oliver Twist, who said that procrastination is the thief of time. No, it is not, if it is strategic. So, dear Toastmasters and guests, practice productive distractions. Perform the illusion of productivity and vivaciously engage in the alchemist's true art, and you will effectively master productive procrastination. Thank you, and it's back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lydia. Amazing speech and absolutely worth the wait. We're so glad to have listened to you, and I am sure Toastmaster Adeshola would have feedback for you during the evaluation session. So in Pecten Toastmasters, we always like to have interactive sessions as a way to sort of make everyone feel connected. You don't just come into the meeting and, you've listened to speeches and it's like, oh my God, everyone's being so professional and serious and no one wants to hear my voice. We like to listen and we like to be engaged with everyone who joins the call, not just our speakers. So confirming Toastmaster Lydia, if you're good to have the interactive session, or do you want to, catch your breath? I know you just gave us a very lovely speech. Is it fine for you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Awesome. So I would now hand over back to Toastmaster Lydia for our interactive session. This is just a way for all of us to feel connected. Think of it as our own version of like networking, but no pressure. Toastmaster Lydia, back to you again.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests again. I am sure we're having a very wonderful and vivacious time in today's meeting. I would like to see a reaction that expresses how you feel in the chat box. I'm waiting. Please let the chat box be, let me see the chat box bubbling with your expression. How do you feel? You can represent it, you can use emojis, you can use words to truly say or express how you feel in today's meeting. Oh, thank you. I see Olem's reaction. I'm not sure. Oh, Toastmaster Nameti, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You feel love. I think that's a love. Thank you so much for that reaction. Ecstatic, thank you, thank you, thank you. Toastmaster Ekuchi, thank you so much. So now we will move into our interactive session. So this interactive session is slated for 13 minutes, and we will be put in different rooms, breakout rooms, where we are going to discuss and just pour out our emotion, express yourself, express ourselves around two very important questions that I'm going to share. The first question will be, if you could send a one-liner message to your 15-year-old self, what would it be? What would be that message you'd like to share, you'd like to send to your 15-year-old self? Message of encouragement, an advice, whatever you can share or send to your 15-year-old self, we would like us all to discuss that in the breakout room. Then the second question will be, what is the one thing you would want your 80-year-old self to thank you for? What is the one thing you would want your 80-year-old self to thank you for? So have fun, be expressive, explode, just open up and let's have a wonderful discussion in the breakout room. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Adam, to put everybody in the breakout room.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Confirm you can hear me. Please, you've been assigned to a breakout room. Kindly join the breakout room and participate. Thank you.
You're muted. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Essay. I don't know if everybody's back.
In the next 2 seconds, you'll be back here.
Okay.
Go ahead. Everybody's back.
Okay. So welcome back. Welcome back from our various breakout rooms. So how do you feel after sharing your thoughts, after, expressing yourself, expressing what message you'd like to hand over or to send to your 15-year-old self? How do you feel? I would like one person to unmute and tell me how they felt about the session. Just one person. Volunteer, please.
Hello.
One volunteer, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. I am Daniel Obiwanekom, and I feel very vivacious to speak for my room, which is room 2. We had a wonderful conversation.
Okay.
And, for me, for a start, I wanted to say to my 15-year-old self, live before you die. And it went so well with my team members because we all, in a way, wanted to, express ourselves before we pass away, achieve our purpose, why we are called to be in this life, except for one of us that had a different view, which would have said to his 15-year-old self never to be an Arsenal fan if he wanted to be happy.
That's very funny. That's
So
very hilarious.
yeah, and to our 80-year-old self, we really wanted to be true to ourselves as a group. We wanted to stay healthy, put sports first, put ourselves first, and look back and have a good track record of people that we have influenced positively in various ways.
Okay.
So we said so many more things, but with those few words, I think I have been able to summarize what we talked about in my group, room 2, to be precise. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. A representative from breakout room 1, please can you share a little insight from your discussion?
Okay. So I think some of us didn't even know what our breakout room numbers were. So that might be a factor. And also putting our eyes on the clock. I am sure we've had a lot of people who enjoyed the responses they got. I want to also thank you, Toastmaster Lydia. I think, at least in my breakout room, a lot of people wish they were less shy and less afraid to pursue dreams they had, no matter how unrealistic it might have sounded. But thank you so much, Toastmaster Lydia, for this amazing session. And thank you to everyone who participated. We're just keeping our eyes on the clock because we know we are far behind time. But I hope the prompts you got from Toastmaster Lydia has encouraged you to maybe take a step back and think of how maybe you'd stay forever young. Toastmaster Lydia, maybe if you also put the questions in the chat so people can take it home with them and maybe keep pondering some more. And we would now immediately just segue into the remaining part of our speeches. So I know earlier I had said that our Toastmasters meetings are normally, we have prepared speeches, then we have table topics and manual speeches. But today we're actually having sort of like a speakathon, for lack of a better word. So we do have 2 more speeches left. This interactive session was our way of sort of still interacting with each other. And just after that, we would have our evaluations. So now for our next speech would be Toastmaster Beatrice. Toastmaster Beatrice, confirming you're on the call and ready to speak?
Yes, please, I am.
Okay, I can hear you but not see you yet. So if you want to enable, oh, there you are looking beautiful in yellow. So our next speaker, Zoom Master, is Toastmaster Beatrice Faith Mokonye. Her evaluator unfortunately wasn't able to join, but I will be serving as an alternative evaluator. The VP has also sent the original feedback you got from your first speech, so I'll be paying attention to that. And so Toastmaster Beatrice Faith Mokonye, trusting through the blur. Trusting through the blur, Toastmaster Beatrice, the lectern is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I can tell you do not know what vulnerability means until you enter into Chicken Republic completely blurred. About 3 weeks ago, I went to my eye clinic to see an optometrist, an eye doctor, because prior to then I have been having relaxation or solution rather. So when I got there, she performed all her diagnoses and all of that. And then suddenly she said, "You have to come on Friday to see our consultant, that's the ophthalmologist." Ha. And today is Monday. I said to her, "How do you want me to survive?" And then she said, "Don't worry. I'll just give you some treatment that will treat the symptom. That's just to relax your eyes so that you'll be fine at least till that Friday." And I said, "Okay, so what is that treatment?" She's definitely going to dilate my eyes. And I said, "Okay, so how am I going to see? Will I be able to use my laptop and my phones? Because I cannot do without this in a day," I told her. So she said, "Don't worry, your eyes are going to be blurred for 4 hours, not more than 4 hours." So when I calculated it, it's okay, I could manage. It means at least from evening, I should be able to work. Okay, fine. So she performed all her activities and all of that. And I went home. Mind you, her initial fear was, how will you go home? Because your eyes are going to be totally blurred. You may not see anything. And then we concluded, okay, I might just order a ride. Beautiful. But something happened when I came outside. I could see vehicles and I could see humans. And then the Nigerian in me was like, what's this doctor saying? I'm seeing well now. So I moved on. I went home. But on my way home, I was pretty hungry. So I entered into Chicken Republic. So when I got to Chicken Republic, again, I looked outside. I could see the vehicles. I could see humans. Good. So I made my orders but something happened when I was done. It was time to make payment. So I got my phone out of my bag, but the phone was completely blank. What do? But I looked out again and I could see the vehicles and then the people. So I had to speak to the cashier. "Please excuse me, can you see my screen?" And she said, "Yes." It was then it dawned on me that yes, I could see every other thing, but I could not see the tiniest details, including my phone screen. But at that point, I had 2 options: go home hungry or just lean on what I call the vivacious vulnerability. So I did something crazy that very day. I said to the cashier, please, can you see my screen? Yes. What is my account balance? Yes, that thought in my head definitely started to rage a war. What if? I mean, why would you choose to someone your account balance? It didn't even stop there. I thought that, could you help me make transfers? Because I can't see. And that thought went on again. What if she clears your account? But then I remember that I still have two options. Go home hungry or embrace the vivacious vulnerability and leaning on her eyes. So eventually, yeah, she made the transfers on my behalf, served my meal, and I went home. Again, I could still see vehicles and humans. And that was how it ended that day. To cut the story here, it's not about the food or the eye clinic, but the context behind it. And that context is the fact that sometimes a life actually gets blurry, where we suddenly become so much overwhelmed that we can't see clearly because the clarity we have suddenly becomes blurry, like I said earlier. And we can't even see the outcome of our input at that point in time. Fellow Toastmasters, there's one thing that can help us bounce back speedily, and that is faith, trust, and vulnerability. Trust, that understanding that when life itself gets blurry or overwhelming, we need to lean on someone. We need to borrow someone else's lenses. And not just that, faith, that belief that even when I can see the things around me, that something awesome and vivacious is still happening around me. And vulnerability, that wisdom to know when to ask for help and lean on others. So on this juncture, fellow Toastmasters, I leave us with this challenge that when the life around you gets blurry, do not hold back. Remember to borrow the eyes of someone else, because vulnerability is definitely what gets us stronger until life itself turns around. Thank you so much, fellow.
Thank you, Toastmaster Beatrice, for that lovely speech. That was a very comforting speech to listen to, and excited to give your evaluation during the evaluation session. Well done on telling us how to trust through the blur. And then finally, we'll be moving on to our last speaker for today, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Abubakar. Confirming Toastmaster Abubakar is on the call and ready to listen to the last speech. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Abubakar. And our speaker would be Toastmaster Tobiloba Akimoluwa. Sorry, I heard someone speak, just confirming if Toastmaster Toby, I can see you. And Toastmaster Toby's speech title is, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, so I'm just going to spell it out. It's AHWFIAHW, Toastmaster Toby, Toastmaster Toby, AHWFIAHW. Toastmaster Toby, we can see you. Just confirming if you could speak, so we're sure we can also hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. The virtual lectern is yours. Over to you, Toastmaster Toby.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen now, Adam? Yeah? It's coming up. Did you say it's coming up? Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Now, you might be wondering, what jargon is this? This isn't just a project name. It's the core philosophy that will guide our mission to turn things around. So, what is this philosophy? This philosophy is a term that many of us are familiar with. And it means a healthy workforce is a happy workforce. You may also be wondering again, why such a mouthful for a project title? Remember, like I earlier said, this is beyond a project title, it's a philosophy because what we're aiming at is behavioral and mindset. What we're aiming at is both behavioral and a mindset shift. Now, for the past 2 quarters, Sactam Plastic Factory has seen a troubling trend, a steady loss of its most talented employees. At the beginning of the business year, we recorded 3,800 people as members of the workforce. And 7 months later, we have already recorded 1,300 resignations turned in. What exactly is going on? Now, my team and I decided to embark on a root cause analysis, and we uncovered some shocking discoveries. Now, we created something we call an exit survey. And here is what the exit survey reveals. For four of the topmost feedback given are no structured leave of absence, there's poor feeding, zero extracurricular activities, and no health insurance. What does this mean for us? Beyond having to deal with disgruntled workers who could potentially ruin the image of the business, we are also contributing to the global economic burden of mental health, which results in lost productivity totaling up to $1 trillion each year. It also means that we're part of the 19% yet to increase their focus on employee mental health since the pandemic. We're falling behind, and our competitors are getting ahead with top talents and a mentally supportive work environment. What can we do? So the team and I have come up with a plan and 2 simple steps. The first step, we intend to host a company-wide town hall to gain direct insight into the pain points of these personnel and show them that they are valued and that we truly care as a business. The second step is to collaborate with key teams to successfully implement the change that we seek. We'll be collaborating with the HR team, with the kitchen staff, the HSC team, and the finance team. What are our key deliverables? We will collaborate with HR team to create and establish a structured leave system for all staff, ensuring a minimum of 22 working days off each year. The second deliverable is to dissolve 80% of the kitchen staff and form a partnership with a third-party catering service to ensure high-quality meals and effective monitoring. The third deliverable is the strategic incorporation of a quarterly company retreat with a dedicated committee for effectiveness and sustainability. The last deliverable is to enhance our health coverage by collaborating with top-tier HMO services to ensure delivery of excellent health insurance. And for the bonus, we are going to initiate salary increment of 30% across board. Due to the urgent intervention required, our project timeline is 4 months, and we have 4 critical milestones, which are already woven into the 4 deliverables. What will success look like for us? At the end of the project, we intend to have improved mental well-being, physical well-being, occupational well-being, and financial well-being. We also plan to monitor and evaluate. We will conduct another survey 6 months after the implementation. Coming along on this journey, on this transformative journey with me, is this vivacious team of professionals. Meet Linda, the head of HR, Ken, welfare lead, Dave, the head of finance, Daniel, the HSC lead, and myself, the project manager. We're a team of 5, united not just by a common goal, but by a collective mindset that is people-centered. Because without people, there is no business. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Toby, for that lovely speech. Very excited to hear about this project, and I look forward to hearing how it goes when you deliver your second speech. I'd like to thank everyone for their patience thus far. We know we've spent a lot of time here talking, listening to lovely speeches, and we'll slowly now be moving on to the last part of our session today. But before we do that, I'd still like us, if there's a scent that reminds you of youth, when you think of a scent, a smell, it makes you think of youth, please share in the chat box. It could be youth as a concept, it could be your youth. We'd be happy to share. I would now like to confirm the timing report for our prepared speeches, and for that, I would like to call on Toastmaster Charity. Toastmaster Charity, are you ready to give the timing report for the prepared speeches?
Yes, I am.
Please go ahead.
Thank
you.
you, Toastmaster. Okay. For the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Lydia spoke for 6 minutes, 44 seconds. Toastmaster Beatrice spoke for 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Toastmaster Sona spoke for 7 minutes, 27 seconds. And Toastmaster Toby spoke for 5 minutes, 38 seconds.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Charity. So that confirms that everyone spoke within time. Thank you for that report. I would now like to call on our President, Toastmaster Olem, for the guest welcome. So just confirming Toastmaster Olem. Okay. I think as we wait for time, it seems our president would be joining maybe when towards the end of the meeting. We'll just immediately move on to the next part of today's meeting, which is the final session. I don't know why the only beautiful faces I'm seeing is the Zing DTM and Toastmaster Dishola. Toastmasters and guests, I like seeing people's faces. I like seeing color. It's about youth. If you know that you plan to be a very, very ugly and old person, don't put on your camera. But if you know you're going to be a beautiful person who always looks youthful as they age, please leave your camera on. You guys, trust me, I have powers that be. Toastmaster Debowale, yes, my handsome guy in the blue suit. Toastmaster Beatrice popping in yellow. Now I see all the people, you guys should not worry. My word, thank you, Toastmaster Edem. It's good to see you. Don't worry, when my world domination plans come, I know those that I shall be gifting that great gift of immortality. Thank you. I see more faces come up now. Exactly. Thank you, Toastmaster Favor, Toastmaster Femi. Yes, I know all the people. Please just make sure once I'm famous, you know that you're getting those powers. And I shall do it through God, through Babalawo, through science, whatever means. I know the people. Thank you, Toastmaster Christina and Toastmaster Toby. More beautiful popping faces. It is now time for us to get feedback on how we have done thus far, because in Toastmasters, we believe in learning and growing together. So I would now like to call back our general evaluator, the Zing DTM, to facilitate this segment. Toastmaster Chooks, the lectern is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. What a meeting it has been. Vivacious on so many counts. The vivacity is tangible. You can see it literally walking from room to room, section to section, segment to segment of what has been an absolute fantastic meeting so far. And we'll take that further now with our feedback segment, our evaluation segment, where we just again, take some lessons from all that has happened in the course of the meeting so far, and then learn so that the next time we show up to do these things again, somewhere else, maybe here, we will do them better and better. To take us forward in that, we'll start off first with the manual speech evaluations, and I would go in the order we were supposed to go initially. I know that there's been a lot of turbulence around order in the course of the meeting, but let's see if we can restore that a bit. So let's have our first evaluation. For the manual speech we heard from Toastmaster Lydia Ekwedike, let's listen to her evaluator now, Toastmaster Adeshola Aladeshawe.
Thank you, Zing BPM. Thank you very kindly. Toastmaster Lydia, I'd like to commend you for taking the ball and the plunge one more time, and for also receiving feedback, taking that feedback and applying it to your speech. I totally enjoyed your speech, which is titled The Art of Invincible Momentum. Your first evaluation had great things written in there, how your presentation, your personality was personable. And I wrote that coming onto my screen, I noticed your vivacious nature, your smile, everything was lit up. I believe that that set a tone for what we were about to experience, speaking to us today on the art of invincible momentum. What else did I put down for you? I noticed your use of descriptive words. This made us sit down and really think and get immersed in your speech. I believe that this is a gift that not many people have. And you have used this gift of words, descriptive words, exemplary words also has definitely enriched our vocabulary or my vocabulary here, and how you were able to marry that with the concept of practicing strategic procrastination thing that was quite phenomenal. And I believe that that really sat down well with a lot of listeners right here at Pecten Toastmasters. One of the feedback you were also given had to do with your use of the three-tell mechanism. I wasn't present at your first speech, but I believe that that point of note was taken really well by you, in that you outlined the three strategies that we should employ in order to be productive even with our procrastination. And you outlined those well, productive distractions, alchemistry, art, and practicing. I really didn't get the last one, the second point, but I was able to note that you highlighted those three at the beginning of your speech, towards the introduction of your speech, and then you landed that well also towards the end of your speech. Very well done. In terms of your transitions, which was also something that you were recommended to work on, I noticed that you were quite intentional with your transition. I noticed this towards the beginning, but it then happened that the lines became blurry towards the end. I think you were so much involved or so much immersed in the speech. I believe that that could have been done better. The transitions could have been better. You employed them, but it got lost somewhere in between, and then we're not sure where we were. You would want to improve a bit better on the transitions. And lastly, the clarity of the message was good. I noticed that you kept hammering on these things, you kept repeating them, and that gave us much more clarity as to your mission to teach us or to let us know just how well we can practice procrastination and will be beneficial for us in the long run. So very well done with your better clarity of message and with your use of descriptive words, the use of the three-tell mechanism, and your deliberate use of transitions during the course of your speech, which I recommend can be better. It was well done, but can be better. All in all, thank you for taking feedback, applying them to this speech. It was I believe it was definitely better than the first outcome. Thank you very much. And I look forward to your next speech or the next time you have a course to make a presentation like this. Thank you. And it's back to you, the Zing DTN.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Indeed, that's one thing I've not seen a lot of in this meeting. Applause. I know it's virtual and all, but we used to have a lot more clapping emojis go up. I've not seen so much of that today. So again, thank you, Toastmaster Deshola, for that brilliant evaluation. Thank you, Toastmaster Lydia, for a really interesting speech. Again, really good evaluation from your evaluator. I would just say I loved the speech. It was poetic at some point. I was not sure whether it was satire or we're actually getting a proper proposal on how to avoid procrastination. Like I was left undecided or rather unclear even to the very end before I realized, oh yeah, it's just a better means to getting things done. Yeah, but really well done. It was such a journey. I would only add here that I know sometimes it's the nerves, but then we don't need to learn how to conquer the nerves and hold our own through to the end of the speech. Towards the end of the speech, you did reference Oliver Twist as being written by Charles Darwin, and I kept wondering, oh yeah, there's something I missed there. So it's Charles Dickens, but I totally get that happens to the best of us. Again, Toastmaster Lydia, thank you. The illusion of productivity, that one I will master because there are people I need to deceive with productivity illusion every now and then. So, all right, our next evaluation will come not from the face you see on your screen in terms of a picture, but an even lovelier face or equally lovely face that you see on video, who has been our Toastmaster of the day, but also served as the evaluator for the speech we heard, Trusting Through the Blur by Toastmaster Beatrice. Let's welcome her evaluator for this meeting, Toastmaster S.A. Okerika.
Thank you, the Zing DTM and Toastmaster Beatrice. Thank you for such a lovely speech. As part of the feedback you got in your first speech, it was about you being mindful of the camera placement and also to just keep speaking and being more confident in how you introduce your speech. I want to say you met and even exceeded the recommendations you got from the last speech, from the first version of the speech you had given. In addition, you actually expanded on the recommendations you got. Specifically, you had told a good personal story, and I think that was something that you showed even more here when you talked of your journey between going to the doctors, getting rescheduled to see an ophthalmologist, and then having to order food and go home. I also loved your vocal variety. For example, when you were mimicking the optometrist who said, you have to come in on Friday to see our consultant. And even when you took us through some of your monologues, like, when you were trying to tell us about your fear and concern, I have to wait till Friday. There were also when you were mimicking the optometrist and who said, yes, your eyes are going to be blurred. Also, even when you mimicked the person who helped you at Chicken Republic, the attendant, and then also the voices in your head, like, why would you show someone your bank account? I thought those were very good use of vocal variety in mimicking different speakers' tone. And I thought it was really beautiful how like you modulated your tone, not just when you were referencing another speaker, but also yourself. So when you're speaking versus when you're inner mind, your thoughts is speaking and then another speaker. I thought that was well done. I also loved that you used the word of the day not once but 3 times, and I thought that showed great active listening skills. Your camera placement was also much better than I assume whatever happened before. I could see your length of shoulder. I could see you when you used your hand gestures. What I would suggest as a challenge for you would be consider maybe using more of your virtual stage. So I could see that you are standing to deliver. So maybe if we were able to see up to your pelvic region. So we see you when you're making directions, when you're even telling us about all the vehicles and trees you're seeing. I think that's a good opportunity to explore using your body to tell a story. I also loved other than the beautiful story you told us and your perfect use of vocal variety. I absolutely love that you gave us a call to action. I also loved how you wove it in. Faith, that belief that things can change. Trust, learning to lean on someone. And, I love really that lovely phase around borrowing their lenses to see. I think that's something even in Toastmasters we always talk about mentorship, about leaning on each other. And your last one, that vulnerability in learning to ask for help. I absolutely love that. I love that you told a great and personal story. I loved your vocal variety. And I loved how you gave us call to actions and gave us suggestions on how to borrow the lenses of others, even maybe when we get overwhelmed and we think or cannot see the outcome of our inputs. My only challenge for you would be make more use of the stage when speaking. I think that would be a fun way to help us see you and even give you more chances to tell your story. The only other suggestion would maybe be consider an acronym: faith, trust, and vulnerability, if you wanted us to remember. Or maybe use something like lenses. How do you see? I think those would be fun ways for us to remember that charge. All in all, I absolutely loved your speech. Here's to hoping that we keep trusting through the blur. And even when we can't, there are people willing to give us lenses to see. Thank you. And it's back to you, our general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Essay. An absolutely fantastic evaluation, full of vivacity, zest, zing, and all the works of it. Thank you also, Toastmaster Beatrice. I really loved this speech. And indeed, when life gets blurry, we will borrow the eyes of others because we will always need that extra hand to hold us through periods of vulnerability. So thank you, thank you. Lots to pick. I really loved just how you pull together metaphorically. I mean, physically, we're describing things that had to do with your eyesight, but how you drew that parallel with the metaphors of life was just really beautiful. Thank you. I could go on, but I will force myself to stop here. Let's take the next evaluation now. And that evaluation is for the speech titled, How Do I Change the World? It was delivered by Toastmaster Ezekiel Hart. Let's listen to his evaluator, Toastmaster Ekuchi Joy James.
Good evening, Faye. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm that you can hear and see me clearly.
Yes and yes.
Great. I'll start by saying that it is my huge pleasure, like I earlier stated, to be evaluating such an amazing speaker, Toastmaster Sona. His growth so far has been nothing short of inspiring. When he gave his first speech, he was told to use better eye contact. He was also told to start his speech before salutations. Last but not the least, he was asked to reference the authors of the quotes that he was quoting. He also was told to ask rhetorical questions. I'll start by saying that Toastmaster Sona, you properly incorporated the feedback. First, I saw that you asked a rhetorical question when you started. You said you asked a question about some kind of feeling, right? And I loved that as well. I also loved that you reference Williams Bruce, just to confirm exactly, William Bruce Cameron, when you gave your quote. That was really well done. You started off your speech before salutation, which is something that a professional Toastmaster would do. Great. Just for a few recommendations, and also as regards the feedback that you first had. Eye contact, I realized that your eye contact has tremendously improved, but it can still be better. In Toastmasters, we keep pushing ourselves till we get there. And another thing I feel might have affected that was the camera angle. It almost seemed like you were looking downwards. It's advised that when you're speaking, you put up your camera in the same line or at your eye line, if that makes any sense. If your camera is this way and you're looking this way, chances are it might mess with the eye contact. So I'm challenging you for next time to watch for that. I assure you, your eye contact would be much better. But for today, I see that you made an improvement with that. So thank you so much for doing that. Just by way of some other evaluation, in addition to what you were first told to do, I think that your speech at some point would have done much more with, would have done with some vivacity, right? It seemed, I think sometimes when we give a speech a second time, the chances that we would be a bit drab is there. But I need you to be more conscious of that. If possible, make sure that there were a lot of opportunities for you to do that. When you said, "What's Sona doing?" Laser flashing out of your eyes like a superhero. There were times you talked about arts, which was exciting to you, but I did not see that zing. I didn't see that vivacity in your, or I didn't hear that vivacity in your voice and I didn't see it in your eyes. You used humor, which was great, but still, it almost seemed like your speech was a bit monotonous. We would have loved to see more, even when you were giving us a call to action, talking about how you're making a difference and how you would change the world. There were so many chances. I can tell you there were so many chances. Next time, I recommend that you take note of those chances. Your eyes, your voice, we want to hear how vivacious you can get. And there was a good opportunity for you to end the speech with the rhetorical question when you said, "How will you change the world?" I thought that would have been a great place to stop. But you went ahead and still said a few things. All in all, your speech was superb. I love listening to you, and I would definitely want to listen to you again and again. Thank you, Toastmaster Sona. And it's back to you, the General Evaluator.
And it is, thank you very much, Toastmaster Ekuchi, my dear Fave. Brilliant, Toastmaster Sona. I think I've heard you speak a couple of times now, and it's brilliant to see how far you have come in your own delivery journey, your own speaking journey. Brilliant again with today's speech. Maybe just two quick things. I really like that your evaluator pointed out the double climax at the end, because that just takes away from the power of our delivery. If you've ended the speech already by saying, "Will you give somebody a chance today?" or "How do I change the world?" I think you used the term, "Will you give someone a chance?" Let's always resist the urge to try and further qualify it, try and further explain it. It's already an ending with a third. So if we're going to say anything after that, my encouragement would be to do something like, "Would you give somebody a chance? Would you give someone a chance?" Toastmasters and guests, would you give someone a chance? Just something that really emphasizes it, but doesn't give an explanation that takes away from the power of that conclusion, which is already powerful in itself that you have delivered. But apart from that, again, to commend you on your handling of the distraction. This is actually a project in Toastmasters, handling distractions during a speech, and you have had yours unplanned. And I thought you did that really nicely. You kept quiet, you held your own for a bit. After a while, I think the silence got to you and you're wondering, someone's unmuted. Typically, I would advise that in those settings, you either just keep quiet and wait for the distraction to be sorted or for silence to be restored before you continue speaking, or you address it head on, call the person's name if you know the person who is unmuted, if you can see the name on your screen, and say, "Is there something you want to contribute to this, or can we go on?" Just a way you use that for an audience engagement, or you totally just ignore it until it is dealt with and then you continue, but do not try to speak over it, because then we're struggling to hear either you or the source of the distraction. Again, brilliant, brilliant, Toastmaster Sona. And almost like Toastmaster Beatrice, you took something that happens in everyday life, physical life, drew a metaphorical parallel with that also, in just how, yeah, the little things that we do to change the world and give someone a chance. Thank you. Thank you. Our final evaluator today will be none other than our own division, the big division D director. He'll be evaluating the speech from Toastmaster Toby Lover about a happy workforce. Let's listen to how evaluator now, our own division director, the distinguished Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you for casting me, Mr. GE. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, once again, and especially good afternoon to you, Toastmaster Toby. Can I see you on the screen? Okay, yes, I can see you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that delivery. So the first thing is, the objective of this project is for you to develop a plan, build a team, and plan to deliver a project. So congratulations, objective achieved. Well done. I thought that was brilliant. I loved your visual aid, the way your slides were put together. I loved the way your content was structured. I thought at one point in time, this, I mean, the way that the slides were put together, like the rule of thumb, not too much fonts, not too much words, some visuals to make it more appealing, and a couple of explanations. I thought that was beautifully done. Well done. This is something that I would love to go over again and look for more information. So I think that was beautifully done. Then I also observed the way you used the stage. I thought it was quite impressive. You sort of moved around a bit, even though you're sort of a bit stationary, but because of the nature of this presentation, you didn't have to move too much on the screen. So I thought that was wonderfully done. Well done. And for me, the best part of their speech was when you said, so meet our vivacious team members. I love the fact that you used the word of the day because I didn't hear it and I was looking forward to it. And I thought that was wonderfully done. Well done. I do have a few recommendations for you though. So the first is your hand gestures. Even though your hand gestures were, you did them well. At some point in time, you raised your hands to cover a bit of your screen, which is really good when you deliver a presentation of this nature. I thought that you were clasping your hands at some point during the speech. Sometimes you're even holding your hands like this. And I thought that just conveys nervousness. So I want you to take note of that for your subsequent deliveries and try not to clasp your hands at all. Try to keep them apart. And you generally want to make sure that your hand gestures are sort of up there at your shoulder level, so you appear bigger than you are on stage. All right. So then second thing is, I thought that the flow of your content could have been improved. For example, you started by telling us the issue that Pecten is facing, about 34% employees laid off. You did the survey, you had to discover what it was. You put the plan, you deployed a change management, you worked with key stakeholders, you delivered a team. I thought talking about Pecten at the beginning would have helped develop more emotional connection between us and Pecten. You could start with saying something like, out of the boom of global warming, for example, Pecten is one of those companies that is bold enough to do this, right? And we've been able to turn over a profit. And you cannot tell us something good about that company, why we should care. And then you could now start telling us about the issue, and then you take it from there. That would have helped. And the last thing I thought was your conclusion could have been improved. In fact, if I were you, the title, when I heard the title, I asked VP, are you sure this is the title? She said yes. The title could have been the very end of the speech. So when you talk about the company and the flow, and then you come to the end, then you can say something like, you can even foreshadow and say, because unhappy employees leave, why? You can now unveil the title at the end, a happy workplace, then that would have made it more connected to us. But all in all, thank you so much for your delivery. I hope this doesn't take away from your speech at all. I hope it propels you to do great things in the future. I look forward to your subsequent speeches. Thank you very much. Mr. General Evaluator, back to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Didi, yes, sir, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Didi. Fantastic evaluation, as expected. Thank you, Toastmaster Toby, for that introduction to this project. I also look forward to seeing the outcome and you giving the closing speech for it. I will move on now, but before I move on, I can't resist the urge to talk about this year title. I listened to the speech, heard the title, and it reminded me of brands who try to theme some of these things. And I remember the Japanese brand, I think it was Toyota, who had a motto that says something Yoshinai, Yokangai, good thinking, good product. I'm not sure if it was that or LG. I think it was a Japanese brand anyway. And I thought that just in the way you coined the title, we could have done a bit more work to make it maybe more memorable. Like DTM Gimba has said, it could have been happier employees, happy workplace, that kind of thing. Just something that helps people be able to hold it a bit more and a bit longer compared to the acronym. I'll stop there. We'll go on with the rest of the evaluation now, and we'll take our grammarians report quickly. Let's welcome Toastmaster Adebowale back to tell us how he did with the use of grammar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very kindly, General Evaluator. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Great. Before I give my report, I would like us to give ourselves a vivacious virtual round of applause. the use of the word of the day, vivacious, was demonstrated in vivacity in today's meeting. Well done, everyone. I would start specifically by recognizing those who used the word of the day and the number of times they used it. Toastmaster Ase used it 3 times. Toastmaster Chooks DTM used it 4 times. Toastmaster Joy twice. Toastmaster Suna once. Toastmaster Lydia 5 times. Toastmaster Daniel, I'm not sure if you're a Toastmaster, but you responded during the interactive session, used it once. Toastmaster Beatrice thrice. Toastmaster Tobiloba once. Toastmaster Deshola once. Toastmaster Joy thrice. Well done for using the word of the day. Earlier, when I was introducing my role, I said you should see me as that friendly word neighborhood ninja and a grammatical tour guide in the landscape of language. I would also be mentioning some slip-ups. I said I would cache some slip-ups in the course of the meeting. Someone pronounced the word spelled L-I-S-T-E-N as listing instead of listen. It's listen. The T is silent. Then someone said I would wind down the evening. The appropriate word should have been, so said I would drown out the evening. The appropriate usage of language there should have been, I would wind down the evening. And someone also said we have 2 more speeches left. We have 2 more speeches left. It should have been, we have 2 speeches left, or 2 more speeches to go. So using more and left looked like a redundancy. Then someone said your eyes are going to be blurred for 4 hours. The appropriate use of language there should be your vision is going to be blurry for 4 hours. Blur is a noun, blurry is an adjective. Then last thing, under the radar of grammatical slip-ups, someone said on this juncture, supposed to be at this juncture. Going to the great usage of language, I would also be testing your listening skills. I want you to tell me who used this quote credited to William Bruce Cameron. Not everything that counts can be counted. Who stated that in the meeting?
It's Master Sona.
Thank you very much. And I like this one. This person said, cement the facade of my diligence. Kind of figurative and poetic. Who said that? That was Toastmaster Lydia. Toastmaster Lydia said that. Overall, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for using vivaciously using the word of the day. And over to you, the general evaluator.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adebowale. That was a powerful grammarian's report. Lots to take away for everyone. Some people would carry placard on some of the comments, but if you want to carry placard and protest, you can do that after the meeting. It's not on my watch. So for now, we will move on but there's so much to learn from that. Thank you again, Toastmaster Adebowale. Let's quickly, for the sake of time, move on to our next report from our counter, and that will come from Toastmaster Favor Eweka. Over to you, man.
Okay. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. It's been a vivacious meeting. I've had a sweat time. So for the role of the R counter, Toastmaster Adaku Lydia used the expression like twice. Toastmaster Saidat used the expression twice. Toastmaster Daniel also uses the expression twice. Then DTM Abubakar used the expression ha and twice each. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Favor. Initially, when you introduced yourself, I thought I heard like some bells and gongs announcing your arrival. Now it's the blaring of sirens that announced your exit. So it's been quite dramatic accounting from you in this meeting. Well, talk about youth and drama. Thank you for those comments. For the sake of our guests today, the reason why we take out some time to point out the usage of pause fillers and not just taking out some time, but we do it with specificity is because these filler words, these clutch words, they detract from the power of our speeches, but we remain unconscious of them because we are the ones using them. We've probably been using them for many years of our lives. So it's difficult for us to pick them out by ourselves. And that's why we have an accountant in Toastmasters settings who help us, or accountants who help us identify these words and bring them into our consciousness so that we can root them out of our speeches and make our delivery more powerful. Again, I say that for the sake of our guests who are not familiar with this because it's important we know. Let's take our final role player now. Time, the all-important factor of life. Today, Toastmaster Charity has kept records and will now tell us how well we did with time. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator. So for the evaluations, Toastmaster Adesola spoke for 4 minutes 35 seconds. Toastmaster Okireka spoke for 3 minutes 27 seconds. Toastmaster Ekuchi spoke for 3 minutes 42 seconds. And DTM Abubakar spoke for 3 minutes 28 seconds. Overall, we are 25 minutes behind time.
All right. Is that all, Toastmaster Charity? Are you done?
Yes, that is all.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. And indeed, we are 25 minutes behind time. That should form the crux of my general evaluation, which I will now move into. We can have the slides off the screen now. So I just see human beings' faces, lovely faces of Toastmasters. I know Toastmasters got a few of us to put on videos before. I get to the end of the meeting. I don't know if a few people have dropped off, but if you are still here, let's see your faces again. We should form the habit of always showing videos for meetings, whether we're performing roles or not, because I typically say that videos are the lifeblood of online meetings. I know my own video looks like something out of space. I'll try to correct it, but at least you can see me from out of space. But at least let's get to see a few more people. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an interesting meeting today. The vivacity in the meeting has been tangible. I did say that before, and I say it again now for emphasis. There's been a lot to like about the meeting, but maybe to start from the timing, just to comment, especially Toastmaster Essay. I never thought I'll see a meeting where she's not the one that used the highest length of time for evaluation. So you see, we grow, we get better at these things. So again, well done, everyone. I will maybe a bit about the timing before I leave that. It's good for us to keep proper eyes on time because that's one place where we haven't done too well in today's meeting. And for example, the speech for Toastmaster Toby Loba was supposed to be 2 to 3 minutes if we paid attention to the agenda, and she did 5 minutes, 38 seconds. And we did say she qualified, but that was overqualified, over syllabus. That, yes, was not the plan for today. So overall, I say that to say that we need to pay more attention to time. If you would look for a title of this short general evaluation that I will give for the next couple of minutes, I will title it Elevate the Excellence of Pecten. Elevate the Excellence of Pecten. Now, Pecten is probably the best at club meetings I have seen across the world, certainly in this continent, especially online meetings. But in that is still a big room for improvement. And that's why we gave feedback even continually for these meetings so that we can keep getting better and better. How do we elevate the excellence for today's meeting? Again, it was brilliant. We started off at 4:15 sharp, irrespective of how many people we had here, and those numbers kept growing, hit 43, 44 at some point, which I really loved. It's one thing I've come to really like about Pecten meetings, our ability to also pull the numbers in, and that comes from quality, because where there's quality, there's a magnetizing ability of quality. People are always drawn to it, and that's what does the work there. So that was good. Where could we have improved today? Overall, it is in the usage of time, and I will be specific to say, how do we do that? Because it's okay to say, let's do better with time, but how could we have done that in today's meeting? Let's always look for opportunities to optimize. We had a great opportunity today with 3 people giving the same speech, the same project. You don't usually see that in a meeting unless we have one of those icebreaker marathons. So we had an opportunity not to listen to 3 evaluators introducing the same speech, unless we wanted to let the audience know what feedback they had gotten from their first speech, so that the audience helps participate in providing new feedback to the speakers. But unless that was the case, we didn't need to listen to 3 evaluators talking about the same speech or introducing the same speech. So that's where we could have saved some time today. On the other hand, also, it was a really warm meeting because I came in at 4:05 and Madam President was here chatting, welcoming people. We were talking. Toastmaster Essie was getting settled. A number of us were joining in. It was really good. The reason why we come to Toastmasters meetings early before the start time is to aid our preparation. And one way that it aids our preparation is that all the mic checks, all the can you see my screen checks, audio, is my video, am I audible? All that check is supposed to happen before 4:15, before we start the meeting, such that when we start the meeting, it is a show. It's like having a Broadway show and someone comes on stage after there's been another act and they come to tap the mic. This mic, can they hear me? No, that's all acceptable. If you went to a theater show and somebody did that, you would be opening your mouth and being like, what on earth are you doing? And that's how we should begin to feel here when we come up stage and we say, oh, can you hear me? Am I audible? Can you see my screen? Zoom Master, please help me. I need to share. We can cut off all those things and truly elevate the excellence of the delivery that we already have in Pecten. Again, I saw a pattern today where we introduced all the evaluators. I'm not sure whether that is a new thing. And then we brought all the speakers after. Even if that is a new thing, I kept testing. Again, I don't like to change things that are working, but we need to give consideration to how short attention span is today, and not just for even the best of us who try to stay focused. By the time the first speaker is speaking, we're forgetting what the evaluator said 10 minutes ago about what to look forward to in their speech. So I think just for the sake of attention span, it's still great to follow an evaluator's introduction immediately by introducing the speaker. I think that's a preferred order, just so that people are really following. All right, beyond that, I would stop there again, because if you've heard me do this general evaluation business before, you would know that I typically don't like to load it with too many things. I love to pick 1 or 2 things that we can do immediately in the next meeting and see the improvements. And I think with these 2 or 3 points of mine, I should have been able to convince you and not to confuse you that we need to elevate the excellence of Pecten Toastmasters Club meetings by doing these few things. I will stop here and say back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Dizing DTM, and thank you so much for that feedback. Quality Assurance Manager is correct, Toastmaster Gimba. Thank you so much for that feedback. And yes, I know the Pecten family were definitely taking note. We would keep growing and improving and keep taking feedback. As we continue to learn in Toastmasters, we always know that there are learning curves, especially the more we give more responsibilities to people coming up. So it's a journey and we're always excited. But of course, at heart, we promise to always remain forever young. I'd want to start by thanking everyone who has been part of this meeting today. Thank you so much. We are Oh my God. We had 25 minutes ahead of time, so I'm not going to overburn the issue. I'm just going to say, think of a scent that you thought of today. Maybe it's something that tugs at your heartstrings, something that made you chuckle, and find a way to, connect to that scent again. Connect with something from your youth, something that makes you feel forever young. You might be going to the bank and whatever money you have, just withdrawing it in mint notes. It might be ordering a vanilla cake. It might be eating hot amala. I know it's really cold out there right now. Just doing something that makes you feel young, makes you feel youthful, within the boundaries of reason, obviously. Let's still hold on to our tenets of respect, integrity, service, and excellence. And I am sure we'll continue to have an amazing time. I would now like to hand over to our president, Toastmaster Olem. Toastmaster Olem. Amazing.
Hi,
Over to you.
Toastmaster. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. We've overshot our time. Thank you for attending the meeting. I think Toastmaster SA has covered almost everyone. Role players, speakers, fantastic job today. Our guests on the call, we love you. Thank you so much for attending. And for those who stay till now, we even love you much more. Thank you. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you at the next meeting, August 19th. Our contest is coming up in September. And yes, Toastmasters is due season. So please remember to pay your dues, renew your dues. And for those who want to join the club, you're most welcome. Just touch base with me and we'll take it from there. Thank you, everyone. And the meeting is adjourned. So hasta la vista. We won't take the tongue twister today. You can snip it or something, but we gotta go. Bye, everyone. Thanks for attending.
Thank you. Thanks, Imabong. Thanks, Niyi. Thanks, Christy. Thanks, Wumi. Thanks, Emanuela. Our timer, TM Charity. Thank you. Our accountant. Thank you so much. TM Favor. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, TM Sahidat. I haven't heard that name before. That's a lovely name. Thank you, Lydia,
She's a
Toby.
guest,
I love your
actually.
speeches. Who's Sahidat, Olem?
She's a guest. She joined us
Oh,
today
guest
for the